Welcome to Iraqi Dinar News, where you receive real and authentic updates about the Iraqi dinar. If you want to stay informed with moment-by-moment developments, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Today we are discussing an important topic that continues to generate debate across Iraqi economic circles, television discussions, and social media platforms. Recently, Economist Mazen al-Ashiqar shared comments and discussion clips related to the idea of introducing a new Iraqi dinar with the potential exchange value of one Iraqi dinar equal to $1 The discussion quickly attracted attention among Iraqi dinar followers because any conversation involving exchange rate reform naturally becomes a major topic for investors, economists, and ordinary Iraqi citizens alike. However, it is very important to begin this analysis with a clear and balanced understanding of what was actually discussed. At this moment, there has been no official announcement from the Iraqi government, the Central Bank of Iraq, or any internationally recognized financial institution confirming a revaluation to $1 per dinar. What we are seeing is part of an ongoing economic debate that has existed inside Iraq for many years. Economists, politicians, financial commentators, and media analysts frequently discuss possible monetary reforms, currency restructuring, redenomination scenarios, and strategies designed to strengthen confidence in Iraq's economy over the long term. The comments circulating online appear to reflect one economist's opinion about what could theoretically benefit Iraq's economy in the future. In the television discussion being referenced, the Economist reportedly suggested that one of the first steps towards strengthening Iraq's economy could involve printing a new currency and moving toward a dinar with stronger purchasing power. Again, this is not an implemented policy. It is not a confirmed government action. It is not an emergency monetary decision. It is simply part of a broader conversation regarding Iraq's economic future and monetary development. For followers of the Iraqi dinar, the most important thing is understanding the difference between economic discussion and official monetary policy. In many countries, economists regularly debate ideal exchange rates, currency strength, inflation management, and financial reform. These discussions can be healthy because they show that policymakers and analysts are actively thinking about long-term economic stability. Iraq is no exception. The Iraqi economy has spent decades recovering from war, sanctions, political instability, infrastructure damage, fluctuations in oil prices, and global financial pressures. Because of this history, conversations about strengthening the national currency are naturally very common. One reason this topic continues to attract attention is because the Iraqi dinar represents more than just a currency inside Iraq. For many Iraqi citizens, it symbolizes national sovereignty, economic confidence, and the country's ability to rebuild itself after years of hardship. A stronger dinar would theoretically reflect greater economic stability, stronger foreign reserves, more diversified revenue sources, improved investor confidence, and better control over inflation. These are goals that many Iraqi economists support in principle. But achieving those outcomes requires a long process involving structural reforms, fiscal discipline, banking modernization, anti-corruption efforts, and sustainable economic growth. At the present time, Iraq's economy remains heavily dependent on oil revenues. Oil exports continue to provide the majority of government income. This creates both strengths and vulnerabilities. When global oil prices are high, Iraq benefits from stronger revenues, larger foreign currency reserves, and improved budget flexibility. But when oil prices decline, the economy can quickly face pressure. Because of this dependence, economists often emphasize the need for economic diversification before major currency appreciation can be realistically considered. This is one of the key reasons why many analysts say that discussions about a stronger dinar should be viewed within a long-term economic framework rather than as an immediate event. A currency's value is not determined by hope or speculation alone. It is influenced by productivity, trade balance, reserves, monetary policy, political stability, and international confidence. Countries with strong currencies generally have broad industrial output, stable governance, predictable financial systems, and consistent economic growth. Iraq is making progress in some areas, but significant challenges still remain. In recent years, the Central Bank of Iraq has taken several steps aimed at improving monetary stability. The bank has worked to strengthen foreign currency reserves, modernize electronic payment systems, regulate dollar transactions more carefully, and stabilize the exchange market. These efforts are important because they help reduce volatility and improve confidence in Iraq's financial system. International organizations, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, have also encouraged Iraq to continue banking reforms and strengthen transparency across the financial sector. When discussions emerge about a potential one-to-one exchange rate between the dinar and the US dollar, it is important to understand the technical complexity behind such an idea. A dramatic shift in exchange value cannot happen in isolation. It would affect government budgets, salaries, imports, exports, inflation levels, debt obligations, and purchasing power throughout the entire economy. If handled incorrectly, a sudden currency adjustment could create economic instability rather than stability. That is why responsible economists typically stress gradual reform, careful planning, and institutional readiness. Some analysts believe that conversations about printing new currency may refer more to redenomination rather than pure revaluation. These are two very different concepts that are often confused online. A redenomination usually involves removing zeros from a currency for accounting convenience and simplifying transactions, while the actual purchasing power may remain relatively unchanged. Countries facing inflation or complex cash systems sometimes redenominate their currency to improve efficiency and public confidence. A revaluation, on the other hand, involves an official increase in the currency's exchange value relative to foreign currencies. Understanding this distinction is extremely important for anyone following Iraqi monetary developments. Within Iraqi media, these topics often become highly emotional because citizens understandably want economic improvement and stronger living standards. Inflation, unemployment, public services, and purchasing power remain important concerns for many Iraqi families. As a result, discussions about a stronger dinar can generate optimism and widespread attention. But responsible analysis requires separating public enthusiasm from confirmed policy action. Another important factor is Iraq's relationship with the United States dollar. Iraq operates within a global financial environment where dollar liquidity, trade settlements, and international banking relationships play a major role. The Central Bank of Iraq has worked closely with international financial systems to improve compliance standards and stabilize currency operations. Any future monetary reform would likely require careful coordination with international institutions, trading partners, and financial markets. This is another reason why large-scale exchange rate changes are not simple overnight decisions. Supporters of stronger dinar policies often argue that Iraq possesses significant natural resources and therefore should eventually have a more valuable national currency. Iraq indeed has one of the world's largest oil reserves, and its geographic position gives it strategic economic potential. In addition, Iraq has a young population and opportunities for growth in agriculture, transportation, construction, and manufacturing. If Iraq successfully expands beyond oil dependence and strengthens institutional governance, long-term currency appreciation could become more realistic over time. However, critics of aggressive revaluation theories warn that a stronger exchange rate alone does not automatically create prosperity. A country's economy must produce real economic value to support a stronger currency sustainably. Without strong productivity and diversified exports, artificially increasing currency value could damage competitiveness and strain public finances. Therefore, many economists focus more on structural reform than on headline exchange rate targets. The recent social media attention surrounding Mazin al-Ashiq's comments also demonstrates how quickly financial discussions can spread online. In today's digital environment, short video clips and translated statements can sometimes create confusion if they are taken out of context. That is why it is essential for viewers to rely on verified information from official Iraqi government sources, the Central Bank of Iraq, and recognized financial institutions rather than emotional speculation circulating across social media platforms. It is also worth noting that healthy public discussion about monetary reform can actually be positive for Iraq's development. Open debates allow economists and policymakers to exchange ideas regarding inflation control, banking modernization, investment strategies, and fiscal management. Public engagement with economic policy can encourage transparency and greater awareness of financial issues affecting the country. In that sense, ongoing conversations about exchange rate reform may reflect increasing public interest in Iraq's long-term economic direction. From a short-term perspective, the current discussions are unlikely to produce immediate dramatic changes in the Iraqi dinar's official exchange rate. Investors and observers should continue monitoring official announcements rather than reacting to speculative interpretations. Short-term currency stability will likely remain tied to oil revenues, government spending, regional stability, foreign reserves, and monetary policy decisions from the Central Bank of Iraq. At the same time, these discussions may indicate that Iraqi economic reform remains an active topic behind the scenes. Iraq has been pursuing efforts to improve digital banking, reduce corruption risks, encourage foreign investment, and modernize financial infrastructure. These reforms may not create instant exchange rate changes, but they can contribute to stronger long-term economic foundations. For serious observers of Iraq's economy, these structural developments are often more important than social media rumors. Long-term implications are where the conversation becomes more meaningful. If Iraq continues strengthening its institutions, increasing non-oil revenues, improving infrastructure, and maintaining monetary discipline, the dinar could gradually gain stronger international confidence over time. Economic credibility is built through consistency, transparency, and sustainable growth. Countries that achieve stronger currencies usually do so after years of institutional reform, rather than sudden overnight announcements. Another factor to consider is public trust inside Iraq itself. A successful monetary system depends heavily on citizen confidence. If Iraqi citizens trust their banking system, use electronic payments more frequently, and rely more on the national currency in daily transactions, the financial system becomes stronger overall. The government and central bank have both emphasized modernization efforts aimed at increasing banking participation and reducing cash dependency. These initiatives could support greater monetary stability in the future. International investment also plays a major role. Foreign companies, considering investment opportunities in Iraq, look closely at political stability, security conditions, legal protections, banking efficiency, and currency reliability. A stable and predictable financial environment encourages long-term investment, which can create jobs and stimulate economic growth. In turn, stronger economic performance can support currency confidence over time. For Iraqi dinar followers around the world, patience and realism remain extremely important. Financial markets are influenced by complex economic realities, not only by headlines or viral discussions. Responsible analysis means evaluating actual policy implementation, economic indicators, and institutional reforms, rather than focusing entirely on speculative predictions. While conversations about a stronger dinar may continue appearing in Iraqi media, confirmed economic actions remain the key factor to watch. There is also a broader geopolitical context surrounding Iraq's economy. Iraq operates within a sensitive regional environment affected by energy markets, international diplomacy, trade relationships, and security concerns. Stability in these areas can significantly impact investor confidence and economic planning. Because of this, Iraqi policymakers often move cautiously when dealing with major financial decisions. The statement references in the discussion also highlights something else that is important. Iraqi economists themselves are increasingly discussing the future of monetary reform openly in public forums, whether or not any specific proposal is implemented. The fact that economic reform remains a central topic suggests that Iraq continues searching for ways to strengthen its financial position globally. That ongoing dialogue reflects a country still working toward long-term recovery and modernization. For viewers trying to understand what this means practically, the key takeaway is balance. The discussion about a possible stronger dinar reflects ongoing economic aspirations within Iraq. But there is currently no official confirmation of a one-to-one exchange rate policy. The comments represent economic debate, not finalized government action. Responsible observers should remain informed, cautious, and focused on verified developments rather than speculation. As always, the most reliable indicators to watch include official central bank announcements, government budget reforms, foreign reserve levels, banking, modernization efforts, inflation trends, and non-oil economic growth. These factors provide a much clearer picture of Iraq's financial direction than rumors or isolated media clips. The broader Iraqi economy continues facing both opportunities and challenges. Oil revenues provide financial strength, but diversification remains necessary. Banking reforms are progressing, but modernization takes time. Public demand for stronger economic conditions remains high, while policymakers must carefully balance stability with reform. All of these elements together shape the future outlook for the Iraqi dinar. For now, the current discussion should be viewed as part of Iraq's ongoing national conversation about economic reform and currency confidence. It shows that monetary policy remains a highly important topic inside the country, and it reflects continued interest in building a stronger and more stable Iraqi economy over the long term. Thank you for watching Iraqi Dinar News. If you appreciate responsible, factual, and balanced updates about the Iraqi dinar and Iraq's economy, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you never miss future developments. And as always, remember that this content is provided for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice, investment advice, or a guarantee of future currency performance. Always conduct your own research and consult qualified financial professionals before making any financial decisions.